For 10 years, I've been struggling to make films. I've tried to make stuff I believe in, but I'm always let down. Instead, I've decided to document my life and struggle to create. One of the most overlooked aspects of making a film cinematic is how a video or film has been processed. It's what creates a unique style, something that most cinematographers lack. Don't get me wrong, it matters what and how you shoot, but to me cameras are only one part in achieving a look, or more importantly, to capture a story. Shooting raw 1080p looks more organic to me than high-res or compressed footage. It doesn't matter how many stops of dynamic range a camera has if it compresses the image in the end. Bits are lost and shooting in S-Log or similar LUTs doesn't solve that problem. But even worse, many compressed formats also reduces noise or sharpens in the camera. This might look like a great image at first, but you lose detail working this way. With that said, I've shot a lot on DSLRs. My first film, Zero Silence, was shot on a Canon 5D Mark II and III, and without the Magic Lantern firmware. And still, it looked great in the cinema. But I always had to try to fake more dynamic range than the camera actually had. It falls apart much quicker, and you have to fight against the limitations in every single image. I started grading alone because I couldn't afford a colorist. But then, after having graded several TV series, commercials, and even feature films, it's an extension of my creative vision. Half of the look is created there. I work in DaVinci Resolve, which is one of the primary professional grading tools out there. But it can be a strange program to learn because it's based on nodes instead of layers or tracks. Okay, so this is Resolve. Usually it comes with a big ass control board. But it's never been something that I've been laying awake at night dreaming nightmares about not having. I've even graded on this little pink thing. So it doesn't really matter what the fuck, it's the end result that matters. I use this one for calibration, I1 display. So for a film like this that's going to the cinema, you have to calibrate it in darkness. So when I did it, I had complete darkness in this place for 2 weeks or something while I was grading the film. But then for a YouTube thing, you want to have it in daylight because most people will watch it in daylight, and you want to watch it on iPhones and iPads, and you have to try it out on the screens where you're going to have your shit shown. Okay, so I thought I'd show you a clip from the Pearl of Africa. I start by color balancing the image. Try to find a neutral color in the image, and then you go over to the curves to drag the respective colors to the same point. After that, I usually throw a LUT on to base the grade off of it. For this I use Film Convert. I really like how they produce grain, so I chose a film stock and the right camera setup for the clip. Then I decided how much grain I needed. The rest I leave alone. Next step is to set the light. So I add a node before the look node. I look at the scopes and try to maximize the dynamic range by dragging the lift, gamma and gain. Before doing that, it's really compressed. This brings more detail into the image. The details is what makes it look better. Even if you crush the blacks, you should see details in there. After that I add a color node, where I usually make the shadows blue, and the midtones I dial to whatever skin tone I'm going for. Then I also crush the blacks and whites here. I like to have a faded look. Then I create a vignette to draw the focus towards Clio. All of these can be controlled later. After that I sharpen the image a little bit. It's masked off so that it only affects the face. This is also put before the look node, because I don't want to sharpen the grain that's added there. Lastly, I make a node where I fine-tune the contrast, as well as desaturate the shadows and highlights. This is one of the common tricks to make a grade look natural. Many people don't do this and they'll have unnatural colored shadows and highlights. Sometimes I like to crush the blacks and just get the highlights down in H.264 material and then add grain just to make it look more organic. Because it's never gonna look the same if you try to kind of have the high contrasty material. It just looks like shit. I've made an ebook about grading with resource links if you want to learn more. But let me know what you think. How do you usually grade your films? Alright, see you next week.
It's a perfect day for the road. The blue sky will take us home. We'll take it easy, we'll take it slow. It's a good day for the road.